This guy was out with his dog late one night in Wisconsin when he decided to film the unusual, dense fog that had been affecting much of the United States. And as he recorded, he noticed something far more unsettling.
I come out here every night for a walk, and I had this insane spotlight. What the hell is that? Nyla, get over here right now. Hey! Nyla! What the fuck is that? Nyla, come here. Jesus Christ, now I got the chills. What the fuck? Nyla! Come here, right now. Hey!
Multiple unidentified figures seemed to be watching him, their silhouettes barely visible through the thick fog. The discovery sent chills down his spine, leaving him questioning what exactly he had just captured on camera.
A woman was at home when she heard her Alexa device laughing from inside her bedroom with no one else in there. Confused and a bit uneasy, she went to check it out, and this is what she saw.
Alexa, ¿de qué te estás riendo?
El muñeco me contó un chiste buenísimo.
¿Qué estás diciendo?
Upon questioning, Alexa responded with something downright chilling. It said it was laughing because the doll next to it told a funny joke. And if that wasn't disturbing enough, moments later, the lights in the room suddenly went out, plunging everything into darkness. A laughing Alexa is weird already, but a doll telling it jokes? Nightmare fuel. This boy living in Bahrain claims that he's being haunted by a strange entity that appears outside his house every night after midnight and just stands and silently stares at his window from a distance.
Look at this creep right here. He's literally just standing there like looking at me, but I don't know what the hell does he want from me?
Now at first glance, the footage doesn't really look like much, and it's hard to even tell what you're supposed to be looking at. I guess this thing right here is what he's claiming is the entity. So I took a screenshot of the frame and ran it through ChatGPT to clean it up and enhance the image, and this was the result. A tall, creepy figure that looked disturbingly like the Slender Man was probably what was standing there in the dark. I ran the same frame through ChatGPT a couple more times, and each time it returned with a similar tall, humanoid figure standing in the distance. Still, after all of that, I think what's really happening here is nothing more than pareidolia. Here's a video taken of the same place during the day, and you can see it's this spot that he's mistaking for an entity. And to be fair, it really does kind of look like something standing there when it's dark. This woman was at a storage facility all alone when she got a bad feeling that she wasn't the only one there. So she started recording, and that's when she captured this.
Y'all tell me I don't see that. Oh no. I don't know if it's just a fan like going in and out, but the fuck is that? Duh. I don't. Maybe I'm bugging. No, I know y'all just see that, right? Oh!
A dark figure could be seen peeking around the corner at the far end of the facility, almost as if it was watching her. The sight totally scared the crap out of her, and without wasting another second, she turned and quickly got the hell out of there. She was home alone when she saw this. What looks like a pale white face could be seen slowly peeking out from the top of the stairs, just enough to be noticed before moving out of sight. A couple hours later, after building up the courage to check it out, she goes upstairs to investigate, fearing someone might have broken into her house, but finds absolutely no one. Now, it is worth mentioning that she had been watching creepy paranormal videos all morning prior to this, and many people believe that watching horror movies and scary videos can sometimes attract dark entities, opening you and your home up to them. So did she accidentally invite something otherworldly into her home, or was it an elusive intruder?
A man was alone at his girlfriend's house when he started hearing what sounded like someone walking around upstairs. His girlfriend had always claimed the house was haunted, saying she would often hear footsteps upstairs when no one was there, but he never believed her until now.
I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always said it's not haunted because the house is a little old. but it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs.
Determined to get to the bottom of it, he heads to the stairs to investigate, and this happens.
Who's up there? Oh my god, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
As soon as he called out who or whatever was making the noise, something invisible came charging down the stairs directly toward him, sending him stumbling back in fear. These guys were filming after dark out in the Appalachian woods when they suddenly heard something that stopped them right in their tracks.
We're gonna have to redo scene 7. It might be okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think we planned on redoing scene 7, did we?
No, I think it's fine. I think it's that was the last one, right?
Yeah, it's getting a little cold. We should
Okay, let's back up.
head back. Yeah, it's really chilly. I think we should.
Try and hurry,
I
yeah.
think we should.
A sharp, eerie whistle, believed to be the infamous Appalachian whistle, echoed through the woods twice, the second one sounding much closer. Realizing they might not be alone, they immediately packed up and got out of there, before whatever was lurking nearby got any closer. According to legend, the Appalachian whistle is not of human origin, with many believing that hearing it in the woods at night is an omen, and whistling back could invite something sinister.
A woman named Charlotte was sitting in a hospital room waiting for a nurse to come in and draw her blood, when out of nowhere she began hearing what sounded like a woman softly humming a tune in her room. The humming gave her instant chills, and Charlotte later explained that the sound felt so close, it was as if the person humming was standing just a few feet in front of her, yet the room was completely empty. Of course, there could be a logical explanation, like the sound could have been coming from a mobile device nearby or somewhere just outside the room, but hospitals are often said to be haunted, with numerous stories from visitors and staff about strange and unexplained occurrences. A woman named Jules, who works as a funeral director, was recording herself getting ready for a late-night shift at the funeral home, as she often does for TikTok, when she heard a strange noise coming from somewhere in the building. At the time, she brushed it off as nothing more than her imagination. But later, when she played back the footage, she heard something horrifying, and it gave me chills. Increase the volume and listen closely. What sounded like someone laughing could be clearly heard in the background. What makes this so unsettling is that Jules later revealed that it was nearly 1 a.m., and she was completely alone and the only person in the building at the time. Funeral homes are already creepy enough at night, but hearing laughter in a place like that? Yeah, that's the kind of thing that just makes you go, nope. This girl was recording a song in the Appalachian woods all alone when she heard this. What sounded like someone whistling, followed by the sound of footsteps, could be heard in the background. But when she looked around, she couldn't see anyone, so feeling uneasy and not wanting to take any chances, she quickly packed up and got the hell out of there. A couple days later, she went back to the same spot to finish her recording, and once again she started hearing the sound of someone whistling and footsteps moving around her.
I'm starting to get really freaked out. I keep moving because I'm like scared.
Feeling creeped out, she kept changing spots, and when she finally settled and started recording again, this happened.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
She noticed something off camera, and whatever it was, it terrified her. She later explained that at first she thought it was a deer, but as it got closer, she realized whatever it was walking on 2 legs. Not wanting to find out what it really was, she ran straight out of there. Some people think she might have encountered the Whistler, a malevolent entity said to mimic human whistles to lure people deep into the woods.
A woman named Melody received a missed call from an unknown number late one night, and when she checked her phone the next morning, she noticed the caller had left a voicemail. Curious and slightly uneasy, she played the message, and what she heard was so disturbing, it left her shaken.
I'm gonna play for you what is in the voicemail. I don't know who it is. It's hard to hear, so I want to see if it gives me Anyway, listen.
A distorted, chilling voice could be heard calling her name, claiming it was real, and that it had never stopped watching her. Disturbed but desperate for clarity, Melody shared the voicemail online, but the mystery only deepened. The following day, hoping for some answers, Melody decided to forward the message to a friend when things got even stranger.
But after I posted that, my friend was like, send that to me so I could listen to it with like headphones on and turn it up and see what I can to clear it up. And I did. And then he responded, he's like, what is this? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I can't hear anything. And I'm like, I literally just sent the voicemail. Like I texted the voicemail, you know? So he sends it back to me, right? And this is what I get back. So I send it to my mom, and I'm able to take her phone and listen to it. This is what. No one I have sent it to has gotten it.
Neither her friend or her mom or herself could hear anything anymore. The creepy voice was gone, leaving behind just the static. It was as if the message had never been there at all, but things didn't stop there. A few days later, Melody's unease turned to outright fear when this happened.
I got to my car and there's a note on the windshield. So at first I'm like, oh, somebody must have hit my shit and left a note. But there's nothing. Hold on. Okay, I have to calm down a little bit. I'm shaking. But this is what was left. So, you shouldn't have ignored it.
As Melody walked to her car, she found a note on her windshield. At first, she assumed someone had hit her car and left their information, but there was no damage and no contact info. Just a chilling message that read, "You shouldn't have ignored it."
This guy was out in his front yard late one night in the Appalachian Mountains when this happened.
You alright?
Out of nowhere, a loud, piercing, blood-curdling scream, unmistakably like that of a woman, ripped through the air, so sharp and so intense that it scared the crap out of both him and his dog, and sent them running back inside the house in a panic. Now sure, you could argue it was a wild animal like a bobcat or a mountain lion. Even foxes can make some pretty disturbing sounds. But here's the thing, the Appalachia is infamous for its deep, dark woods, its isolation and creepy legends, and random unexplained screams in the middle of the night are kind of a thing here. People hear them all the time, and a lot of locals say they're not always coming from animals, but something not from the living. This woman from Saudi Arabia was out camping in the woods one night, when all of a sudden she started hearing the sound of musical instruments and drums beating all around her, even though there wasn't a single town or village for miles. Now, according to her, the sounds were coming from what she believes was a gathering of jinns, most likely a wedding. Jinns are widely believed to inhabit remote or desolate places, far away from human populations. And just like humans, they're said to also hold gatherings of their own, including weddings. Many people have reported hearing music, drumming, and singing in deserted areas like forests late at night, sounds which are often attributed to jinn wedding celebrations. TikTok user Silly Lady was checking out a new house with her family, and as she was recording a simple house tour for her boyfriend's mom, she accidentally captured something strange the moment she got close to the bathroom. Listen closely.
Bubby, you stay with us.
I'm going down. Who's up in this room?
As she steps inside the bathroom, a soft, eerie voice can clearly be heard whispering her niece's name, who had just been inside the bathroom moments earlier and can be seen walking out seconds before the whisper is heard. She didn't notice it at the time, and only heard it after reviewing the video later, and has no idea who said it. But she is absolutely certain that no one in the house at the time said it. No one was standing near the bathroom, and the voice doesn't sound like anyone from her family who was there that day. But things don't end there. The creepy discovery prompted her to go through other videos she had taken in the house that day, and in one of them, she noticed something that made the whole thing even creepier. Listen carefully.
Oh my god.
As the camera pans across the closet, another faint whisper can be heard. This time, it's unclear what's being said, but it sounds like the voice of a small child. Silly Lady is pretty convinced the house might be haunted, but according to her latest update, they didn't take the house, so I guess we'll never know for sure. This girl was filming a TikTok late at night in an Appalachia parking lot when this happened.
Hey guys, I just got this really cute umbrella from the dollar store and I wanted to show you because I fucking think it's the cutest thing ever. Okay.
Out of nowhere, a loud, piercing scream of a woman cut through the air, so sudden and intense that it scared the crap out of her and sent her running in fear. The Appalachia is famous for its deep, dark woods and creepy legends, and one of the most infamous reports is of random, unexplained screams that echo through the night. Screams that in these mountains are not just noise, but often a warning from a spirit or the call of something not human.
This mother was at the park with her 14-year-old son when she encountered something deeply unsettling.
There's a man underneath his car. That's my car. That's someone's car. And he is crawled up under there. And he's just watching me. See him moving on his belly?
She saw a creep lying face down under a truck, silently watching her. The woman later explained that while her son was grabbing water from her car, he noticed the man staring at him from his truck, which was parked right next to theirs, giving him an uncomfortable feeling. And as he returned to tell her about it, the man stepped out of his truck and crawled underneath it and just stayed there, silently staring at her for nearly 15 minutes until help arrived. And when he was confronted, he crawled out, casually said he was working on his truck, even though he had no tools, then got back in his truck and drove away. This woman got a notification from her Ring camera that someone was at her door, and when she checked the footage, she saw this. A creepy-looking man dressed in a school uniform was standing outside her home, staring directly into her Ring camera. Now, in case you're wondering, she did call the police, and according to an old news article, the man's name is Andre Curlew, who went missing from Ealing Hospital in the UK back in 2018 and suffers from bipolar disorder and paranoid schizophrenia, with the public being warned not to approach him.
This guy and his friends were spending the night at what looks like a partially developed lot, surrounded by dense forest and far from the nearest town, somewhere in Indonesia. Later that night, while everyone else was asleep, he was woken up by strange noises coming from outside, as if someone, or something, was moving around out there. Curious and uneasy, he grabbed his phone and started recording, and captured this. A pale, ghostly white face was peering in through the window, silently watching them as they slept. He immediately freaked out, and the figure quickly slid out of view, almost as if it knew it had been spotted. In Indonesia, there are long-standing legends of jinn, supernatural beings that are said to inhabit remote and desolate places, and one of the most feared forms is the pocong, which is said to wander the earth wrapped in burial shrouds, searching for the living. Or perhaps it was a pontianak, a pale woman in white with long black hair, known for luring unsuspecting victims before attacking. This woman was at home with her family when, out of nowhere, unexplainable things started happening, like the lights flickering, things moving on their own, and strange knocking on the doors and windows, even though no one was outside. Freaked out, they all ran into the bedroom, and just to make sure she wasn't imagining things, she started recording when this happened.
What the fuck? Oh, hell no. You gotta go.
The bedroom door suddenly swung open on its own, before slamming shut again, scaring the hell out of them. She later explained that all this started after they brought a couch into the house. Many believe they may have dragged something sinister into their home with it.
A man inherited his grandmother's haunted home, and as he was trying to record the ongoing paranormal activity in the house one night, he captured something truly terrifying.
Is there anything going on in here? Anybody here? I know a lot of things have happened around here. If there's something around here messing with me, making noises, show yourself. If it's an ancestor, that's great. If it's something else, I'm not afraid of you.
The camera captured a sinister, demon-like figure standing in a doorway, which was invisible to the naked eye. Upon closer inspection, the entity appeared to have demonic features like pointed ears, horns, a red face, and an upheld, clawed hand. A photo taken of the same area just minutes later showed nothing there, and no sign of anything unusual. A woman named Amelia lives in a 250-year-old haunted house, and one night, after hearing loud banging noises coming from upstairs, she decided to investigate and captured this. The curtain on the window moved on its own, as if being pulled by an unseen force. At the same time, a pair of headphones, which appeared to be levitating near the wall, suddenly fell to the ground, and when she looked behind the curtain, you guessed it, no one was there. Seems like this haunted house is living up to its reputation.
This guy was chilling in his room, scrolling through his phone, when he noticed out of the corner of his eye that the head of his stuffed tiger toy had moved for a split second. He thought he was tripping, but just to be sure, he pulled out there, so they couldn't help but feel like their cat was sensing something paranormal. Now, cats do sometimes act like this when they've spotted a small critter, like a bug or a mouse, that a human simply might not have noticed yet. But a lot of people firmly believe they can also pick up on things that we just can't. So was Joanne's cat seeing a ghost? Or was it simply being a cat? This woman was out for a walk with her 2 dogs in the woods near her home when she stumbled upon something downright creepy.
Hang on. Are you seeing this? Fire? Fine. You know, fine, whatever. That's not fine. Oh my fucking god.
Deep amongst the trees, someone had prepared what looked like a ritual site, with a burnt tree and strange, human-shaped figures made out of twigs placed near it. The discovery left her uneasy, and as she was examining the odd setup, her dogs started acting weird, sensing an unfamiliar presence nearby. Trusting their instincts and feeling on edge, she decided not to stick around and quickly left the area. And it's a good thing she did, because just as she and her dogs were a safe distance away from the woods, this happened.
Oh my actual god.
A man was silently watching them from the tree line, and the moment he realized he'd been spotted, he slipped back into the woods and vanished. A woman named Emily was out delivering food in a sketchy neighborhood late one night when she encountered something truly unsettling.
Hello? Hello? I have your DoorDash order. Can you put it on the stool, please? I'm not really supposed to come into houses. It's just inside the door. It doesn't really matter how far it is. I'm not supposed to.
As she placed the order at the doorstep, the door mysteriously opened on its own. And to make things even creepier, a woman's voice then called out from inside the house, insisting that she step inside and place the food on a stool just inside the doorway. And when she refused, explaining it was against company policy to go inside, the voice turned aggressive and began cussing her out.
I'm not allowed to come inside, and I will not come inside. Come on, you fucking bitch. It's not hard. Yeah, no.
This guy was exploring a haunted house when he decided to set up a camera in the basement, hoping to record any paranormal activity. And this is what it captured. As he walked up the stairs, a dark, shadowy figure moved closely behind him and followed him up the stairs. Did his camera just catch a real demon? This guy was home alone when he heard some knocking sounds coming from the basement. Curious, he went to check it out and saw this.
Hello? Hello?
A children's toy horse sitting in the basement suddenly began rocking on its own.
I'm done.
A few days later, he was back in the basement watching a movie when, once again, the toy horse started moving on its own. 2 times isn't a coincidence, so what do you think is going on here?
A group of friends was driving through Fillmore, California late one night when this happened. A woman dressed in white was walking along the side of the road, and as they drove past her, you can see her reach her arm out toward the car and hear her say, Now here's where things get interesting. This wasn't just any road. This happened on Sycamore Road, a narrow stretch between Fillmore and Santa Paula that is widely believed to be haunted, and has a long history of people experiencing some unexplainable things on it. Named after the historic sycamore tree, the road is said to be haunted by the Lady in White, a young woman who died in a car accident near the tree decades ago, and now appears to hitchhike and ask drivers for a ride, before disappearing suddenly. And so a lot of people think that this was her, while others say it was just a regular person needing help. But they never stopped, so I guess we'll never know for sure. This woman was working as a caregiver for an elderly lady who had been bedridden for the past 2 years, but from the start, something about the job felt off. At night, she would often hear the sound of footsteps going through the house, even though her patient was supposed to be unable to walk. To put her mind at ease, she set up a camera in her bedroom one night before going to sleep, and what it captured looked like something straight out of a nightmare. In the middle of the night, a frail, elderly figure crept into the room, softly whispering the name Deborah, as it lingered for a few seconds before quietly turning and leaving. While definitely creepy, it's possible the elderly lady could be showing signs of a real phenomenon called sundowning, where people with dementia, even if bedridden, may suddenly get up, wander around, and act strangely at night. Or maybe it was all just an elaborate hoax. What do you think? This video doesn't have much context. We can see what looks like a strange silhouette of a person walking in the water, far out in the sea, where it should be too deep for anyone to stand. What we're looking at here could possibly be a jinn. Jinns are widely known to exist in remote and isolated locations, including vast bodies of water like seas and oceans, which are said to be home to the Marid, a powerful and arrogant type of jinn feared for their hostility and deception towards humans. Or maybe it was nothing more than an optical illusion. What do you think? This paranormal investigator from Indonesia was exploring an abandoned house near the woods when he captured something terrifying. At first, he didn't come across anything spooky, but as he went deeper into his investigation, he spotted a strange figure standing near the trees. Thinking it might actually be something paranormal, he tries to get its attention, and that's when things go horribly wrong.
Woi, pocong PA, ini loh saudara lu nih, bawa sekalian ini.
As he calls out to it, an ominous-looking figure wrapped completely in white suddenly came rushing out of the woods and moved straight toward him, scaring the ever-living crap out of him as he ran back inside the house in a panic. Many people believe what he encountered could possibly be the Pocong, a well-known supernatural entity in Indonesian and Malaysian folklore, said to restlessly wander the earth wrapped in burial shrouds, having unfinished business and searching for the living. A woman named Farzana claims she's being haunted by a mimic that only appears in one specific window of her house.
You can see that there's a shape that looks like a person, but there's definitely there's no way there could be someone standing there. It kind of looks like me. It kind of looks like me.
In the video, you can clearly see the shape of a woman standing right behind her, visible in the reflection in the glass. Now, some people think it's just the window glass creating a double image of her own reflection, but I'm not too sure about that, because as Farzana points out, the figure stays completely still even when she moves, appears to have a completely different height and build, and looks nothing like her. She even showed footage from when the figure isn't there, and there's no double reflection in the window at all. Farzana is convinced she's being haunted by a mimic. TikTok user Chili's supporter posted this chilling video of them petting and interacting with a friendly neighborhood cat when suddenly they felt an overwhelming sensation like someone or something was watching them. And sure enough, when they looked up, they saw this. A dark, shadowy figure was standing in the distance, staring right at them, but the moment it realized it had been spotted, it quickly darted off the road and into the darkness. Creepy, right? But it gets worse. Later, while scrolling through older videos of the same cat, they made a disturbing discovery. That same shadowy figure had been in every video, always in the background, always watching, silently. This guy was doing some chores around his house one night when he saw this. What looked like the shadow or silhouette of a person wearing a hat was standing outside his front door. Now, he has had past experiences dealing with homeless people lingering around his porch before, so he decided to confront whoever was out there, especially since it was already 10 p.m. But when he opened the door, this happened. There was no one there. He looked across the street, scanned the area around the house, but there wasn't a single person in sight, and nothing nearby that could have cast the shadow he saw. It was as if the figure had simply vanished into thin air.
A woman bought her son an Elmo balloon, and at first, it seemed like an ordinary balloon. But then, strange things started happening, as it began moving around the house on its own, always drifting toward the basement door. At first, some thought it was just air currents or a simple draft making it move, until one night it did this.
Quiet! Quiet!
The balloon made its way up the stairs, and just as it reached the top, it suddenly stopped while her dogs freaked out in the background.
This guy was working the night shift somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains when this happened.
You can see there is nothing standing over here, right? But look. What the fuck is that?
A disturbing figure that was only visible in the reflection of the LED screen was standing right behind him, but when he turned around to look at the same spot, there was nothing there. He thought he was losing his mind, but that wasn't even the worst part. What happened next will scare the crap out of you just like it did him.
And like... But there's nothing there. And like I turned...
Each time he glanced back at the screen, the figure appeared to move closer, until it was almost directly behind him, and that's when he decided he'd had enough, and got the hell out of there. A man named Joey was out in his backyard fixing the fence, when he kept hearing faint rustling sounds coming from the bushes. At first, he thought it was probably just a small animal, like a fox or a raccoon, but when he tried to take a better look, he saw something terrifying.
You see her? Look at that face. Oh my god. It's right there staring at me. Dude, how fucking scary is that shit? Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? She's crawling through all this shit, bro.
As he zooms in, what looks like a pale, gray-skinned face, unlike any living human, can be seen staring back from the bushes. Now, while this is definitely creepy, people online are calling out the footage, saying that something about it just feels off, almost like the face was edited in later. But Joey swears he didn't fake anything, and that what he filmed was 100% real. A woman named Tanya was walking her dog through a cemetery when it suddenly started acting strange, as something near a grave caught its attention.
What's going on, bud? What is that? Huh? What? What is it, buddy? Kaiser.
Her dog was clearly sensing something near the grave, and whatever it was, totally had him on edge. And while that was unsettling enough on its own, some people pointed out that one of the ornaments next to the grave was moving like crazy, while its matching pair on the other side, as well as everything else around the grave, wasn't moving at all, making the whole moment even creepier. Dogs are known to have heightened senses, and a lot of people firmly believe they can pick up on things we simply can't. So was Tanya's dog reacting to something paranormal? Or was it just tweaking over nothing? TikTok user FreshGuyM1 was relaxing in his apartment one evening when he suddenly heard blood-curdling screams coming from outside. Curious and alarmed, he rushed to his window and looked toward the house across from him, and saw something straight out of a horror movie. A tall, dark figure that looked somewhat like the Grim Reaper was looming over another person who was cowering on the floor in fear. It wasn't clear what the tall figure was doing exactly, but the person crouched on the floor appeared clearly in distress. Now it's possible this was just a group of people filming a skit or some kind of prank, but the figure's unnaturally tall frame and the convincing, panicked screams make it difficult to brush this off as mere acting. Recently, a video of a woman acting hysterical in a hotel hallway went viral on TikTok, and according to the story, she had been walking through the corridor when she noticed a man following her a little too closely. Nervous, she began recording while pretending to be on her phone, hoping it would discourage him, but instead of backing off, the man suddenly broke into a sprint and started chasing her. Take a look. The video spread quickly online, and that's when a hotel employee decided to review the building's security footage for answers, and what he found was chilling.
Y'all, so here's video of that girl that posted, and I'm gonna let y'all know now, it gets really weird. It's like she acting like she's running from something or hiding from something, but there's literally nobody else in the frame.
On the cameras, the woman could be seen running, but she wasn't being chased by anyone at all, and her behavior in the elevator also seemed erratic, reminding many people of the infamous Elisa Lam case at the Cecil Hotel. Thankfully, though, this woman checked out of the hotel safely. But the story didn't end there. The following day, staff went to inspect her room and made a shocking discovery. The room was a complete mess, with her belongings scattered everywhere, as if she had fled in a hurry. This prompted them to check the hallway footage again, and this time they noticed something disturbing, like a shadowy figure darting across the same hallway shortly after she had passed through it, even though no one was physically there, followed by a decorative stone inexplicably falling off a table with no one near it. To this day, no one can explain what was captured on those cameras or why her stay ended the way it did. Maybe she was just paranoid, or maybe something else was there that night, but one thing is certain, she wasn't alone in that hotel. This guy named Liam, who's a paranormal investigator on TikTok, was checking out an empty 400-year-old Jacobean-style property in Winchcombe, England, a place that used to be a boys' school back in the 1600s. And as he was scanning the exterior of the building, he captured something horrifying on camera.
Just this one there. They're there again? Yo. Look at the face on it. Yo, look at the face and look at the face. You can see like a white face, look. Look at the eyes. Right, I'm fucking going, mate.
What looks like a dark figure was silently watching him from one of the windows. What made it especially unsettling was that just moments earlier, the same window had been filmed completely empty, making it clear this wasn't pareidolia, and that someone or something really was standing there. A woman named Keeney was on vacation in Mexico with her 3 friends when she took a series of pictures in their hotel room using a disposable camera. Nothing seemed unusual at the time, but when she went through the photos later, one in particular left her horrified. In the image, standing just behind her 3 friends, was the figure of an ominous-looking woman. Keeney explained the picture was taken in the dark, and that only the 4 of them were staying in that room. Commenters on her video tried to explain it away as someone's shadow or reflection. But here's the problem. The figure has distinct facial features, eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and it looked nothing like any of them. This mother was comforting her 7-year-old daughter after an episode of night terrors. When this happened,
Scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
out of nowhere, the blinds on the windows suddenly closed on their own, sending both of them running out of the room in panic. The next day, she shared an update explaining that the blinds aren't remote controlled and have to be opened and closed manually, and since they move individually, all of them shutting at the exact same time makes no sense at all. But things only got stranger. As she was recording the update video, the bedroom door slowly opened on its own, with no one behind it. She is now questioning whether her daughter's night terrors are truly imaginary, or reactions to something very real inside the house.
This guy had been dealing with some unexplainable activity in his home, so he decided to try a Ouija board to get some answers. Late one night, he set it up and began asking if anyone or anything was there with him, and as he was trying to communicate with the unseen, things took an unsettling turn.
So today, I just want to mess with the Ouija board and hopefully, we get some answers. I was told open a circle 3 times. So, 1, 2, 3. Is there anybody in this room with me that would like to communicate? If you can, just please start off by first name. If you are here, please let me know you are here by... Oh, it just moved a little bit. Okay. Release it tighter. If you are here, please let me know you are here. Bro.
The planchette in his hands suddenly moved on its own, and then, moments later, it flew off the table, totally terrifying him.
This motherfucker just flew. The glass just came off too. And it's not like it's fucking attached to strings or none of that. But
and if that wasn't creepy enough, he then begins hearing creepy, demonic whispering in the room, which completely freaks him out and sends him running out of the room in fear.
Fucking glasses. Fuck! Oh, hell fucking I gotta go. You guys don't fucking hear that? Oh, fuck!
Some questions are just better left unanswered.
He was home alone when he saw this. On the bed in his bedroom, he saw what looked like a human-shaped figure hiding under a blanket, but just seconds later, the blanket collapsed flat onto the bed, as if whatever was underneath had vanished into thin air. See, this eerie incident actually happened back in 2024. And it's not the only one, because for over a year now, he's been dealing with strange occurrences throughout his apartment. But what's even more disturbing is that the strange activity seems to follow him. Even after moving to a new place, the unexplainable events never stopped. A nurse named Camilla explains that at the nursing home where she works, there's a room the staff have named the death room, mainly because every time a patient is assigned to that room, they either pass away or end up in the hospital shortly after arriving in good health. One day, a patient at the nursing home decided to bless the room in hopes of changing its reputation, and as she was being recorded, something shocking happened.
Any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels, and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
As she was praying, her rosary suddenly gets yanked as if something was trying to rip it from her hands. But that wasn't even the strangest thing that's happened in there. One evening, a therapy dog was visiting the nursing home, and as it was going around greeting the patients, it suddenly changed course mid-session and walked straight to the death room and just stood at the doorway, whimpering while staring inside.
Really?
Then on another occasion, the patient call light kept going off, but when the staff checked, the room was completely empty. At this point, the staff firmly believe something's actually in there. This guy named Nick was staying at his grandmother's house when he was woken up in the middle of the night by strange noises. Confused and slightly spooked, he started recording and captured this. His grandmother, who suffers from dementia, was standing eerily still at the end of the hallway, staring off into the distance. Now, it's possible that this was just a symptom of her illness, but her dog sitting beside Nick also started growling while staring in her direction. And as Nick continued to record, this happened. One of his grandmother's angel figurines, part of a collection she keeps on top of the fridge, suddenly fell to the ground, startling both him and the dog. It hadn't been anywhere near the edge, and there was no logical reason for it to fall. But that wasn't the only strange thing that happened that night. If you watch closely, you'll also notice the Roomba acting oddly, as if something invisible was blocking its path. The following day, Nick and his girlfriend tested the Roomba with his girlfriend standing in front of it, and to their shock, the Roomba behaved in exactly the same way as the night before. But things didn't stop there. A few nights later, Nick was woken up again, this time by the sound of the ice maker turning on. Still unsettled by the earlier events, he grabbed his phone and began recording, and captured this.
Whoa.
Events have left Nick deeply disturbed and desperately searching for answers. This guy was live chatting with random strangers online when he connected with this strange and mysterious looking woman. At first, everything was normal. They even vibed to a song together. But the moment he actually started talking to her, something about her just felt off. And the more he talked to her, the more she creeped him out, making him realize something about her just wasn't right, and that she may not really be what she actually seems.
السلام عليكم.
أهلين.
السلام عليكم.
أهلا.
صوتك كذا من الله.
شغل خلنا نرقص شغل.
ها؟
شغل خلنا نرقص.
يلا الحين شغل.
سامري يا ولد.
أكيد أشغل.
سامري.
دقيقة.
Feeling unsettled and genuinely freaked out by her voice and overall odd demeanor, he trusted his instincts and decided to play a recitation of the Holy Quran instead of the music. And that's when she reacted in a way that was nothing like what you'd expect from a normal person. Who do you think she really was? A person into black magic? Someone possessed? Or could she have actually been a djinn herself? A woman named Sydney and her family were renting an Airbnb for a week when they started experiencing some seriously unexplainable things. Soon after arriving, their dog started exhibiting some strange behavior around the staircase, standing completely still and continuously staring at the same exact spot on the stairs, as if something was there. Getting a bad feeling from her dog's odd behavior, Sydney started recording and captured this. footage, something could be heard running down the stairs, even though nothing was there. And then the dog's leash suddenly gets lifted into the air on its own. Crazy, right? But this was only the beginning. Later, after a quick tour of the property, they discovered a mysterious locked door under the staircase. They were already on edge, but curiosity got the best of them, and so they decided to check it out. And as they were examining it, this happened.
Oh my god.
The doorknob suddenly turned on its own, even though just seconds ago they made sure no one was behind the door, confirming their fears that something supernatural might actually be inside the Airbnb with them. But this wasn't even the worst thing that happened. The next day, Sydney attempted to investigate further to see if she could catch exactly what was turning the doorknob on the other side of the door, and as she was trying to film under the door, something horrifying happened. Without warning, something yanked her phone out of her hand and pulled it into the room, before dragging it down the stairs one step at a time. And if that wasn't creepy enough, it then turned the phone around and aimed the camera back at the door before dropping it. Sydney later called the host and got her phone back, but couldn't get much information about anything paranormal.